This conference will now be recorded.
Yesterday you asked us to change that IP address, right?
Yes, IP range.
Yeah. So yesterday I've tried it.
Okay.
So
Is it working?
no, it's not working. Like it is showing an error. Like we have to create a file, and in that we have to write a code with BIP is equal to that IP range. And then we have
Yes.
to exit from that, and we have to systemctl restart Docker. Then we'll get that IP gets changed, right? Is that the
Yes.
process?
Yes, you're right.
So we have to do it in this root only, right?
Yes, you're right.
So I have done yesterday, but I did not get that.
Okay. So show me that file syntax one.
No,
V8
actually,
slash slash etc slash docker slash daemon.json. Yes, open it. So again, you have to give subnet also. You missed subnet slash
oh,
16 or slash 24. That's the reason the syntax is correct. So at the end of your IP address slash 16 you have to give. That is the subnet range. So otherwise it won't work. Now save it. Now try now. Start your Docker service. So guys, anybody tried to create a service for container? I think in like maybe previous class or before class I asked create your own service for your container. Anybody tried it? No one tried, huh? So that's a real-time use case, guys. You have to try it. Even I showed how to get it also. Now do ifconfig. Do ifconfig. Yeah. See. Now can you create a container? Docker run -dat CentOS. So see guys, now my container will get the IP address in that 192 series only. So how can I get IP address? There are multiple ways. So by logging into container and once you logged in, you can use ifconfig command, or else from here itself in Docker host itself, Docker inspect even container ID also. Yesterday we have seen Docker inspect network bridge, right? So instead of that, this way also work. Docker inspect and your container ID or container name, that also works. Container ID or container name. So guys, is there any disturbance in my voice or any delay in my voice?
no, it's fine.
No, sir, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, please let me know
Voice
if
okay.
anything. Yeah. So because nowadays some students after class they are asking me. That's the reason I'm asking. Yeah, please let me know if anything in between also immediately. So I'll correct it. Yeah, press enter. So yeah, see. So guys, one more thing, one shortcut I can say, it's general command. So actually if I run one command, obviously I would get outputs, right? For any command. Sometimes it would be very big output. You have to search whatever the keyword you need again step by step. I mean by going through the complete output. So instead of that, I can do one thing. So in any output, not only in this command, not only in Docker commands, guys, any Linux command, okay? So I can search a keyword. So if you give some keyword, it will give only that particular line. So it's a general Linux command, guys, not related to Docker. Whatever the command I'm saying, whatever the syntax I'm going to show you, that is a general Linux command. Can you use up arrow? Just you don't execute, just use up arrow. Wait. Here, actually, what this only one time, the Docker inspect command. Guys, here my command, what this command will show you, it will show complete container details, right? So now, can you use pipe symbol, the straight line up before enter line? Yes, a straight line. Yes, guys, this symbol is called as pipe symbol. Okay, what is the use of pipe symbol means? Here, first command, whatever it might be, it's not only Docker command, not only ls command, pwd. So the first command output, generally where it will be printed, it will be printed into your screen generally, right? But what I can do, I can forward that output to the second command. Second command can be anything related to the first command output. Here, what is the output I want to get, guys? I want to search IP address, right? So grep is the search command. Okay, so very useful command, guys. Grep command. So can you do grep space? Good. Sushmita?
Over here only have to do.
Yes, after pipe symbol, grep space. What keyword you want to search? So IP address. I need IP address, right? So give exactly. So like take it from above output. IP address. You should be, or else you can give it in this way. -I, grep -I. -I means case insensitive. It doesn't matter. No. Grep is the command. Space -I is the option. Space your keyword within the double quotes. Which keyword you want to search from the first output. Okay. Now press enter. See, guys, what pipe symbol will do, it's not only for this command, for any general Linux command, very useful command, this grep command. When you use pipe symbol to one command, at the end of that command, the command output won't go to the screen. It will go to the second command as an input. Here, what is the second command I'm using, guys? Grep. So grep is a search command. Okay. Here I'm sending the first command output to grep command and I'm trying to search IP address. So it will show only where IP address line is there. How many lines it has. See, guys, instead of searching whole output, this command will print only that IP address keyword. So which one is easy? First one or this one? Obviously this one. Now clear the screen. I'll show you one more example for grep. Can you do ls? Okay, here only two files, right? Can you do one thing? Can you go to etc? Where, because in etc we do have lots of folders, right? So if you have only two files, no, cd/etc, cd space /etc, enter. So guys, one more example I am showing. So do ls. Sometimes what will happen? I do have thousands of files. I do have thousands of file in a directory, and I want to search like whether something. Can you pick one file, any name, file or directory, anything from this? Just select it. That's it. Show me. Then I will search only that line. Okay, you want to search security file. Whether so now I'm able to see it, but in some time In your directory, you may have lakhs of files. So one by one, I have to check. I want to check whether the security folder or file is there or not. Okay. If I do manually, it would take huge time. So again, the same command, ls pipe, got
ls
pipe symbol. So what ls will do? ls will print the list of contents of current folder. Actually, I don't want to get all the outputs. I want to get only that security output. Okay, now grep small I. Small I, why I'm using small I means for casing. Sometimes what will happen in the names in the output, I may get something like small caps. I don't know whether that has small letters or capital letters. That's the reason I'm using hyphen I. Otherwise, directly you can give grep space your keyword. What keyword you want to search? Any keyword you can search from the first output. Just give SC instead of full name, you can give small, just SECU. So it will show wherever you have secu in that output. In the first output, that ls output, if you see secu in any name, in any line, it will print only that line. Enter. Enter it. See guys, it's showing only those two lines. That means file is available. So this is how grep works. So did you understand the pipe symbol, guys? Very important, very useful. You can use it for any command, the pipe symbol. This is general Linux command, not Docker related. General Linux stuff. So first command, it can be anything. Docker command, maybe ls, pwd, maybe some host name. So let's assume that in first command output, it can be anything. So I'm getting huge output. I don't want to see all the output. Maybe one more example I will tell you. Just clear the screen. RPM space hyphen QA. Can you run that command once? RPM space hyphen QA. So what this command will do, can you press enter? So this command will show all the installed applications in your Linux box. So I want to search Java package is installed or not. So if I run simple RPM-Q, what will happen? It will show complete list. But I don't want to do complete list. I want to list only Java. So what should I do? Same way. No, again, how ls will work? ls will show you the list of content. I want to get the list from RPM-QA, not from ls. ls is different. RPM. Ls will show you the current folder list, not RPM list. RPM-QA list, the RPM packages which are available in your Linux box. These are not files. These are packages. So do it RPM space hyphen QA. Now I don't want to get all the list. Pipe symbol, same situation again. Pipe symbol grep hyphen I, your whatever the package you want to search. Maybe let's take Java. I want to search Java package is installed or not. Enter. If the Java is installed, so it seems Java is not installed here. Maybe the package name might be different. Maybe can you use JDK instead of Java? Because sometimes the package name might be different, right? No, that means Java not installed. Can you install Java? Install Java. Now, if I do RPM-QA, it should list Java package also. But I don't want to search I don't want to get all the output. I want to get only the Java package. It should show only, I want to grep. See, now Java is package is getting from that output. It's similar to, guys, grep command is similar to, let's assume that I open one file. Maybe I open one website. So in that, I know one keyword. I want to search that keyword is available or not. What you will do? You will do control R something, right? What is that? Control R, na? Which keys you will use in website?
Control F.
Control F, right?
Yes.
The same kind of stuff. So in any output, you can search any keyword. Okay, so very useful command, grep command. Actually, if you do RPM FNQA, it will list all the packages. So maybe if you, I'll show you one more example also, apart from the grep, the pipe symbol example now. I want to check how many packages I do have. So can you do RPM-QA? What it will list again? Tell me what RPM-QA command will do. It will list all the packages. Don't run it. Just tell me. That's it. Clear the screen again. Tell me. So I'm asking. So what RPM FNQA command will do? It will list all the packages, all the applications installed on top of your Linux box. I want to count them. Again, pipe symbol will help you. Just pipe it. Pipe symbol. Now I want to use different command. I don't want to search. Now I want to count it. How many lines it has. So WC is the command to count. Can you do WC space -L? Here, guys, observe one thing. So RPM-QA actually it will print the output to the, it will print all the packages available in your Linux system. But I don't want to count manually. Simple. What I will do, I'll send the output to the second command. Here, what is the second command? I'm using WC, word count. Can you press enter? So you have total 390 packages. In the same way, I want to, so can you do ls command? What ls command will show you? Guys, it will list all the files and folders available in the current folder, right? Now, can you do this command? Just clear the screen. Now, I want to count how many files I have in /etc folder. So, how can I, what is the syntax? ls pipe symbol wc -n. 196 files you have in this folder. So this is what pipe symbol, guys. The first command, it can be anything. First command output will be sent to the second command. Like I can search it, I can count it, I can run some other maybe commands. First, there is no condition. First and second commands can be anything. Maybe let's assume that I want to, I can do in this way also. RPM-QA. So what this command will do? It will list all the packages list. Now pipe symbol, grep Java. So what this command will do? First command will list all the packages, and now I'm sending the output to second command. What second command will do? It will search the Java keyword in that output, and it will list only Java wherever the Java line is there. Now again pipe, I want to count it. How many Java packages I have? Again, what should I do? Exactly. So first command output will go to second command. Second command output will go to third command. Like that, any pipe symbol based on your requirement. Now enter it. See, I have 5 packages, Java packages. So this is how pipe symbol works. Got it, guys?
Here it's just showing the count.
Yes, that's what the final symbol. What is the final command I used? I asked
My name is
only.
count.
Yeah, I asked only count. That's the reason it's showing. Can you remove that WC command? Last pipe symbol. It will show always the last command output only.
For Java it will show. Okay.
Okay. So the first command can be anything. Second command also can be anything. Related. It should be. I want to search. I will use grep. I want to count. I will use WC. Something like that. Okay. This is pipe
Okay.
symbol. Very useful command in Linux. Not in Docker. It's a general Linux command. Now clear the screen. Now, so guys, did you understand how to change the network? Simple. One file is there. You have to add the syntax, which Sushmita did, right? That syntax you have to add. The 10 series or 192 series, whatever the series you need. Yesterday, I already told you the scenario, why we have to change our network. Okay, you can go in that way. This is the file name. This is the syntax. Now come out. Now your containers will get the IP address range of 192 series only. Yeah, now quit it. Now let's talk about Docker file. Guys, this is one more. So why you are logging out? Sudo space -i. So let's talk about one more type of custom image. Guys, what is custom image?
Which we
What is
create it. Make
exactly?
changes
A
to
custom
some
image
image
is
and
nothing
upload.
but exactly. Custom image nothing but yes. Anybody called me?
Yeah, this is Jnani.
Yes, Nani, tell me.
Yes, we are providing the IPs in like private IPs, right? For
Mhm.
the applications. Can we assign public IP also, static IP for this?
Static IP we can assign, but not public IP.
Okay, yeah, static IP. Okay, static IP
Yes.
means private IP, we can make it like static.
Yes, exactly. Let's
Oh,
assume that I want to assign some like particular IP 192.168.1.5 for my container. It is possible.
okay.
So so all you have to do is while creating a container, you have to use that option. So just Google it once. Browser, open browser. How to assign IP particular IP address to my container. So there is an option for that. You have to use that option. How to assign particular IP address to Docker container. So guys, you should be able to Google it also. That is also a very important thing because everything we cannot remember. Even I cannot remember, right? So like you have to know this, how to Google it. Yeah, open the first one. Come down. 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 Wait. Disconnect. Docker run. Come down. Just search for Docker run command. Come down. Scroll. Just scroll. Just a minute. I'll give you the command right away. Hmm. Hyphen IP is the command. Let me ping you in a group. Maybe here itself I will ping you the chat. See, I ping you in the GoToMeeting chat. I pinged you. So, hello, Sushmita, are you there?
I'm there. I'm copying it into Notepad.
Oh, okay. Because still I can see that Docker notes. Yeah.
Amar,
See, guys. Yes.
so you mentioned bash only. I believe it's similar to /bin/bash, right?
Yes, you're right.
So, I mean,
Sim-
what's the difference between using the full command and just the bash?
Mm, maybe when
Because
I'm
I
not
have
sure.
seen it multiple times. I mean, somewhere people just mention bash, somewhere it's the full path. I mean, there should be some implication, right?
Yeah, I think some maybe alias is there for that. I think so. Even
Okay.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
right away. I don't have handy that information.
Okay. And
Maybe some alias might be there.
okay. And --net is equivalent to --network, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so we are not creating any network here, or are we creating any network with the bridge driver?
So so here network we can make it in two ways. The first part is like Docker 0 is there, right? So
Yeah.
completely we can change the default network. That is one way. So one
Okay.
more way is instead of changing the default network, I can create
Okay.
one more network also. Like
Okay.
maybe already what is the default network? 172 series, right?
Yeah.
So I want to create 192 series also. It is possible
Mhm.
in your.
Okay.
So I think it's there in your notes also. So Sushmita, can you open your network that document once? The previous document. I mean the web browser one. In browser you have one notes, right? Yes, this one. Can you scroll to the top and can you increase the font as well? Actually, it's very small.
Is this fine?
Yeah, it's fine. Now scroll down a little bit. So Sushmita, what you did exactly in what was the task I given to you in last
We
class?
have we have to change an IP address of an root.
Docker
Like
0, right? So
yeah,
that every container, all your containers
we'll
IP
reflect this.
address will be in that range only. So now onwards, all your container address will be in 192 series, right?
Yes.
So you can do in one more way also. What is that mean? instead of changing the default network, okay, what is the default network? 172 series.
Yes,
So
yes.
keep it like that, and you can create one more virtual network also. The command name is Docker network create. Come down. I think it is there in this. Come down slowly. You can create one more network also. So come down, come down, come down. So Docker create command should be there. Command, come down, come down, come down, come down. Otherwise, let me give you the command. It's very easy command. Just a minute.
Docker network.
Is it there? No, not that one. This one, this one. It's there. Scroll up. Somewhere Docker network create above. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up.
This one
This is
created.
the command. Yes. So this is the command. You can give. So I'll give you the full command. Wait. Actually, he's not giving the full command. I'll give you the command. So what is the current default network for you guys? It's 192,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now I'll give you one more network. Just a minute. One more command. Apart from the default one, you can have one more network also. So without disturbing the original network, I'm creating one more network. With now let's take 10 series. I want to get 10 series also. Maybe in that case, what you will do? So some containers I can make it in 10 series, where whatever I need, and some containers I can make it in
92.
yeah. Let me give you. I'll ping you in group chat. Yeah, I pinged you. So default network, without touching the default network, I can have one more network also in my desired range. So here replace your subnet, maybe 10, make it 10 series. Instead of just change 10, 190 instead of 192, make it 10. It's up to you, your wish. I can gateway also, make it 10.
Again, how to exit from that if we don't want to get this 192 or 10? I want to come back to 172 again. Can we change like
Again the
that?
same way. Again same way.
Okay,
To
okay,
change the default network, you have to do the same steps again.
okay.
Now copy this. Run it in Putty. So my default network is 192, and apart from that, I created one more network called 10 series. My network name is new subnet. Now do network. So LS won't show you. This is Docker network, right? How can you check Docker network? Docker network LS. Yeah. See, you can see that new subnet. Now you can create containers in this subnet also, in this network also. So if you create your containers in this subnet, which range you will get?
10.
The same command. Can you open your notepad once? You can use the first command here. Just remove that IP address. Hyphen IP. Because if you want to go with the static IP, you can use the first command. Here, you remove that hyphen IP and the command, that IP address, and use just yes, remove the hyphen IP. I don't want to get any static IP. Okay. And here change your network name also, because your network name is new underscore subnet, not mynet123. So you can see in the below output, you created your network with new underscore subnet, right, as a name. Now copy this command.
It's CentOS, right?
It doesn't
Nothing
mean
will
so
happen.
any container. It's up to you, right?
Okay.
There is no dependency. It could be, it should be the CentOS, it should be Ubuntu. It's your wish. I can go with any, right? Whatever you need. I want to create a container with 10 series now. I don't want to go with the default series. What is your default series? 192 now, right? If you create your container without that hyphen net option, so it will take default network. But I don't want to get default network. I want to get with 10 series. Now enter. Now do the, oh, because you haven't used the hyphen D, right? So by default it went to, just exit. Use hyphen DAT there in that command. Up arrow. IT already there, right? Directly you can use hyphen D there. IT ఉంది అక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ చూసుకోవాలి అవన్నీ. బ్యాష్ కూడా అవసరం లేదు, జస్ట్ రిమూవ్ దట్ బ్యాష్ ఆల్సో. యా ఎంటర్. Now do docker ps. So check docker inspect, container name, docker inspect container name. So I don't want to get a whole output. What should I do? Pipe grep. That's what you have to use shortcuts. You have to improve yourself day by day. You should not use the complete output. Grep. And which keyword I want to search? IP address. Just give IP. So it will no need to give full address also. Simple. I don't know what exactly there. So simple IP is also enough. It will show all the lines which has IP. No need to give complete IP address, something like that. The keyword. It will show all the lines which has IP in that line. So this many lines has IP. So here, see my container ID. It came 10 series. What is your container ID? IP address 10.168.2.1. So why should I create a two networks here? Why should I have two networks? Already I have 192 network. Now again, why should I have one more network, guys? Again, same scenario. Let's assume that now the same Docker host I want to use for multiple teams, multiple applications. So Stravani team also using the same Docker host. Sushmita is also using the same Docker. Both are from different teams, and both containers also doesn't have any dependency. Okay, in that case, what I can do, I'll create one net. I'll use 10 series network for Stravani, 192 series for Sushmita, so that they cannot communicate with each other. That's the reason I create it. It's up to you. If at all requirement is there, then only I'll create it. Otherwise, no. Okay. So this is what, guys. So network concept, I can make it, I can change complete default network, or else I can create one more network also. Depends on your requirement. Okay, now clear the screen. Now let's go with customized image. One more way. So I already showed one first way. What is the first way, guys? I already showed you how to create your customized image. So how to do it, guys? First, I'll create my own container with whatever the image you need. Maybe it might be CentOS, it might be Ubuntu, it might be HTTPD. Already available image I will take. I'll create a container and I'll do all my setup, all my requirement like procedure, everything. Then from Docker host, I'll do Docker commit. Then come my guys, please be in mute. Okay, so Docker commit again, guys. I'm getting disturbance. Please make sure that. Okay, Docker commit, then container ID. So it will create a customized image, right? There is one more way also. One more way to create your container, sorry, image. So it is from Docker file. It is by using Docker file. So, but here we don't create any container. With the image itself, we can create, we can apply some changes on top of image, and with that again, I can create one more image with the help of Docker file. So first choose one directory, any directory, your wish. You exactly. Just do pwd. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, it's any directory. Now create some folder name called, like, maybe I want to create customized image for Jenkins. Okay, create a folder mkdir Jenkins. Folder name can be anything, it doesn't matter. Okay, so enter cd to the directory, cd Jenkins. Now create a Docker file, vi space Docker file, dcaps Docker file, the only dcaps. Docker file, enter. Now insert. So as I told you, we will take first base image. It can be anything based on your requirement. Let's assume that Shravani came to me. Okay, she is from application team. She wants to have one CentOS image, and on top of it, she want to have some application, and she will give some instructions. Just create some directory and expose so and so port. Map this so and so directory, something like that. She will give all the instructions to me, and also install some so and so application, configure so and so stuff, everything she will give it to me. On top of that container, whatever she need, she will tell me. Okay, then I'll create one Docker file. Now I have to write the instructions step by step. Now do it from capital letters, all capital letters, from space the image name. So what is the base image you would like to take? It can be anything, already available image you have to take. Okay, the CentOS or Ubuntu or maybe HTTPD or Jenkins. The base image can be anything. This is small again, not caps. Only the from, like in caps. That is called as parameter. Directive. That from is directive. Now enter. Next line. Now run. Run is again parameter. So always directive should be capital letters. Space. I want to install some application on top of that image. Okay. Yum install. Let's take Java. It's up to you, but example I'm showing Java space -y, because it will ask you yes or no, right, when you run it. Again, next command, again run. Then again one more command, yum install git. again -y. Next, run again. So also Shravani asked to create a file. Okay, create a file. How to create a file? Touch space /tmp, touch space. Give it. Run should be there. Run space your Linux command. Touch space where you want to create it. /tmp/test something example. So whatever you need, you next run space. Maybe what we can do. So I want to create a file directory mkdir/app like this. Whatever she need in that image, I'll do all the things in a file itself. Okay. Now save this. Escape. Save this. Now let's build an image with this. Docker space. Wait. We haven't built. Docker space build space. Docker space build space -t. This is the command to build your image from Docker file. -t space. Do you have your account ID, Sushmita?
Yes.
Your account ID / your image name. What name you want to give it to your image? Maybe CentOS - Git - Java, something like that. It's up to you. Git - Java. It should not be there already in your account. If it is already there, you cannot push it. It might be like again a duplicate. Space dot. You should run this command in the same directory where you have the Docker file. Otherwise, it won't work out. It will look for the Docker file. You should run this command in the same directory. So remember that where you have Docker file, in that directory only you have to run this command. Press enter. Remember, so I'm insisting that. Yeah. So what will happen now when you run this command mean? It will check that Docker file. What is the first command? From means it will take a base image. What is the base image you have taken?
CentOS.
CentOS. It will take CentOS image. It will build a container, and it will go to the second step. What is the second step you are given?
Java. Install Java.
Yes. So on top of that container, Java will be installed. Again, one more container will be created, and old will be deleted. Okay. What is the third step now?
Git.
You asked in Git. So again, in that new container, Git will be installed. Old container will be deleted. New container will be created again. What is the fourth step?
File creation. mkdir.
Okay. So again, on top of that old container, that file will be created. New container will be created. Old will be deleted. Now, what is the fifth step? You asked to create a directory. So on that new container, directory will be created. Again, new container will be created. Old will be deleted. Finally, all the containers will be deleted. The image will be created with that container. See, you can see the image name 937EA0644070. That is your image ID. Can you do Docker images? Not that one. Yes, that one only. Do Docker space images. Now you can see the image. See?
Amal,
Yes.
can we create a Docker file with using the same expertise that we learned today, like creating a network? How do we create a network in the Docker file, as well as how do we put an execc execute command in Docker file?
That's what. We'll come one by one. We'll add all the
Okay.
stuff. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll give you the
Sounds good.
examples also.
Okay.
I'll give you the real-time scenarios also today. Okay.
Okay.
So lots of
Okay.
even in Google, you will get n number of Docker files. I'll show you those also. Don't worry.
Okay. Sorry to
Yeah.
interject.
No
Sounds good.
problem.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now do ls. So this is how you can build your Docker files. You can create your Docker files. So we have two ways to create customized image. The first way is by running the docker commit command. Okay, we'll create one container first. On top of it, we'll do all your setup, and with that setup, you'll create a image by running that docker commit command. Now, this is the second way. So we'll create one docker file. In that docker file, all like we'll take the base image. We'll take again like whatever the instructions we want to do on top of that container. Everything we'll do. Then finally, we'll create a container. We'll create an image. Now, if from that image, if I create a container, what I will get? I'll get CentOS, I'll get Git, I'll get Java, I'll get that file /tmp/test file. I'll get the directory also. This is what Docker file, guys. We have lots of parameters based on the instructions from Shravani or maybe from the application team. I have to write a Docker file. So why I should build a Docker customized image, guys? So it can be kind of a backup, I can say. It can be kind of maybe I want to create same containers again and again. Okay, so in dev I have to create, in QA I have to create, in production I have to create. Again, again and again, I'm getting the same kind of request to create the same container. In that case, what I would do? So if I create Docker file or maybe in my customized image one time, I can use the same image like a same Docker file for any number of times, right? So that is how it works. Now let's see more options. Now also just assume that Stravani she given one file to you. Okay, any file, maybe some application related file. She asked that file also to be placed in on top of your container, on top of your image. So when I build a container with this new image, I'll get that file also in my application, in my container. How can I do that? So first of all, you have to place that file. So whatever the file given by Savani or some your application team into the same directory where you have your Docker file. Okay, so how can I place it, guys? Let's assume that she sent a mail to you. She given one file to you, Sushmita. Okay, so she given one file to you, and she given some instructions how to build a container and all. And she also given one file also via email. How can I place that file into this Docker file? Sorry, into this Docker host directory. Any idea? I think I already showed that. I'll download into my laptop first. From my laptop to that file to my Linux box. How can I copy that file, guys?
From Docker, we have to run that.
I'm sorry.
To edit that file.
No. I'm asking. I got one file from Shravan over the email.
Okay.
Okay, so that file now I downloaded into my laptop, not into my Linux box. Your laptop. Okay, I want to copy that file from my Windows box to my Linux box. How can I do that?
We can use
Is what I'm
we can use
Yes,
NFS.
WinSCP.
exactly. So WinSCP is the commonly used product. WinSCP, I already told you how to do it. So WinSCP is one of the tool. With the help of that tool, you can upload the files from Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows. Okay, so in that way you can copy the files from Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows. So let's assume that just can you create a file here, maybe touch any file name, maybe Stravani. It doesn't matter, whatever the file. Actually, like just assume that you copied from your Windows to Linux here. Okay, the example you are creating here, but maybe if she given one file, you have to copy that file to here. Press enter. So assume that you already copied. Now can you do ls? Yeah. Okay, you have that file now, the Stravani file here. You want to copy this Stravani file to your image also. How can I do that? Again, there is a parameter for that. Open a Docker file. It's a VI, not CD. It's a file, right? Not directory. So go to the last line. The parameter is add command. Add the last line. One more line. Yeah. Add space add. Add is the parameter directive. And your source file. Which file you want to copy? That's Ravani. Whatever the file you want to copy from your Docker host to Docker container, Docker image. Space. In which directory you want to place it? That directory name. Maybe /app. You want to so already you created /app directory, right, in your image. You can see that above. So in that directory I want to copy this Ravani file. Now enter it, save it. Now build an image again, same command, change the image ID. If at all you want to create the same name, you have to delete the old image. If you want to use the same name for this image also, then you have to delete the old image. Okay, enter. Okay, good. Now log so just do docker ps. Sorry, docker, not docker ps, docker images, because you just created an image, not container, right? So let's build a container with that. Docker execute, sorry, docker run -dit. No, not CentOS. That image, the latest image you just created, right? That image I'm asking. Yes. Now, if I create a container, what I will get? Guys, if I create a container with that image, what I will get?
Last we changes the touch stuff.
I'm sorry?
Total CentOS file get Java. Total
Exactly.
OS
Complete setup what we did in that image,
setup
Docker file will be available now. Enter.
and folders also. Same folders.
Exactly, everything. Everything. Whatever you did in Docker file, all the things will be getting. You will get. And now login. Docker execute -it. Not image. You're using image. So now you're trying to log in, right? Container ID or name you have to give. Yeah. Now check it. Git -version. whether Git is there or not. Java is there not. Git hyphen version, I think so. Git hyphen version. Yeah, Git is there. It's showing clearly. It's saying not. So if Git is not available, it will show something. Git is not available. Yeah. So check Git Java hyphen version. See, Java is also there. Now in the same way, cd2/tmp. You created a test file also, right? Just check it. The test file is there or not. See, test file is there. Now check that directory is available or not. cd/app. So you created /app directory also, right? See, you got the directory. Again, you got the file also. Now anywhere if you export this like Docker file, maybe if you export this image to your Docker hub, and someone else build the Docker container with that image. Now they will also get the same files. Even this Ravani file also they will get, because she is using the same. Now like let's assume that I want to build the same container in dev QA production Docker host. Simply what I will do, I'll export this like image, whatever the image I just created, into Docker Hub, and I'll pull from my QA host, and I'll pull from even production host also, production Docker host also. So there is one more way also to copy this image. So I want to give it as a task. Can you open your notepad? So guys, one more task. So how you are able to log into your Docker Hub, guys?
I need
Hello, guys.
credentials.
By giving
In
username.
command line. In command line, I'm asking. Docker login command.
Docker
right?
login, yeah.
Yes, Docker login command. Then after, how you are pushing the images to Docker Hub? By
Docker
running
push
Docker push command. Right?
username.
Yes, exactly. So Docker push command, it will push the image into my Docker Hub. So my question is, let's assume that I don't have access to my Docker Hub for that particular host, but whatever the Docker host I have, where like I have image, but I don't have internet connectivity. I cannot connect to Docker Hub from that Docker host. So I do have one more Docker host in the same network. Now I want to copy that image from one Docker host to another Docker host. How can I do that? I want to copy image from one Docker host to another Docker host. How it is possible? Can you just write down the task? How to copy an image, Docker image? How to copy Docker image from one Docker host to another Docker host directly without Docker Hub. So already you did from Docker Hub. You first from one Docker host to Docker Hub you pushed it. Then after from one more Docker host I can download it. I can use Docker pull or Docker run command. That is the general procedure. But here in my case, let's assume that I do have two servers, two Docker hosts. One is dev Docker host, one more is QA Docker host. Now we don't have internet to connect to Docker Hub, to push my image into Docker Hub. So in dev, I just created one image with my setup. Now how can I get that image in my QA Docker source? So guys, did you get my question? అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir. Without using Docker Hub, how will copy the
Yes.
image from one Docker host to other Docker host?
Yes. Not only Docker Hub. Actually, you do have lots of even other registries also. Docker Hub is the official one. So apart from Docker Hub, you will get even the third-party registries also to store your images. Okay. So one of the example I will show you. Can you go back to your AWS? I'll show you AWS Docker registry. So everywhere it is there. Even Azure it is there. Google provider it is there. Nexus is there. So in this many registries you can store your image. It's not only Docker Hub, because Docker Hub is a third party provider, right? So maybe some companies may not allow you to post your image into Docker Hub. Okay, so you have to create your own Docker registry to place your images. Maybe that might be also a requirement. Now go to services. Go to services. So there is a service in AWS called ECR. ECR. The second one. No, not ECS. ECR only. ECR not there. Huh? Just type EC. Remove R. Yeah, container registry. The third one.
Yeah.
No, just press EC.
This one only, right?
Remove third one. Docker container registry. Yes. Open it. So guys, this is one of the registry. It's up to you. Let's assume that I don't want to place my containers in my Docker Hub. Okay, so in that case you can create your own registry also. Can you click on get started? So here it's kind of one repository. You can store your images securely. Okay, create repositories. Give any name, your wish. And maybe Sushmita, so or else your application names. What packages you want to install, save. Create repository. Yeah. Now you have your own repository now. You can push images to here also. Right now it's a zero repository. Just click on it. Nothing, no images are there. So how to push images to Docker registry instead of Docker Hub? There are at top right hand side you have view push commands. First of all, you have to you have to have AWS CLI on top of the Docker host. Okay, then after you have to follow these steps so that instead of Docker Hub you can push your images into ECR registry also. Okay, it's up to you. This is one option. If you don't want to push your images into Docker Hub, you can push your images into ECR also. Okay, so yeah, so this is one more time. And in the same way, in Azure also we do have one registry, one service to save our images. In Google Cloud also we have. Okay, so even Nexus also we can use. Nexus is one more type of repository. There also you can store your images. So it's up to you. Okay, so now go
It
back.
depends on our organization, right, sir?
Exactly.
Which
Yes,
one to
you're right.
use.
Exactly, you're right. If I don't want to use the official Docker Hub, but because Docker Hub is third party provider, right? I don't want to save my images there. In that case, I'll go with the cloud. Maybe some companies may not believe third parties, right? That case.
Can I
Now
delete this
delete.
directly?
Yes, yes, delete it. Right away, you don't have any images, right? Now go back to Docker file. You do have number of options in Docker file. Like based on the instructions, what command you want to run on top of that image. Now let's see some examples in Google. Can you in Google? Can you type this one? Google. Go to Google. So Docker file examples in GitHub. Docker file examples in GitHub. Open the first one. So yeah, so these are the number of example. Open any direct. Let's go with MongoDB. MongoDB. So that is the MongoDB Docker file. Name can be anything here, but the Docker file should be the same name. See. So can you tell me what exactly is doing in this? Can you maximize your screen? I can see the font is very less. Little more. Yeah, it's fine. Now, Sushmita, can you tell me what exactly is doing?
Yeah, from Ubuntu Hetok image.
Okay, Ubuntu is the base image. Okay,
Yeah.
next.
What is this Kim
So
booster?
okay. So maintainer is a okay. So maintainer is one more keyword, one more directive. So I can give some information like who is the author of this Docker file, or maybe which version it is, kind of stuff. It's not mandatory. Only if you want to provide some information about this Docker file, like what version it is, maybe like who is the author, who is creating this Docker file, such kind of details. Who is the admin, some kind of details. Okay, otherwise it's not required. That's not mandatory. Okay, next.
Run.
Leave it what command it is. What is run command? Only that is my concern. It's these are the instructions given by your application team. Don't worry about that. Maybe like let's assume that they want to install some application. Even I don't know the steps. What installation steps I have to use. In that case, what I will do? I'll Google it. What is the application commands? How to install application? They will give you all the commands, right? Like 1 2 3 4, all the commands I will make it with run first command, run second command, run third command. Okay, something here it seems he is doing is adding the repositories for app. This is Ubuntu machine, right? This image, the base image. So he is using apt commands to install some so he is adding some repositories. Okay, and see, third run, fourth run, he is installing some app to utils. And the fifth command is installing MongoDB. MongoDB, that is a database. If you see database commands, how to install database on Ubuntu, you may get these 5 commands, I think so. So simply those commands you are running one by one. You are using run space that first command, run space second command. It doesn't matter what command it has. Can you go to Google once? Just use install MongoDB. Just assume that Shravani doesn't know that what commands she wants to run. She will say, maybe she may say only I want to install MongoDB. So in that case, you have to find out what are the installation steps for MongoDB. On Ubuntu, just type it. So open it. You may get the commands. Those commands you will make it one by one, line by line. Run the first command, run the second command, run third command, something like that. Come now. See the same commands only, right? They are also same commands only, but I'm using run command before. Yes or no? The same commands only I have in the Docker file also. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
See?
Yes, sir. Run is there.
Yes. But here, finally, after installing everything, come down. Some files she is modifying. Come down, come down. Come down. See? Some file she is modifying. But we cannot modify the files. what you have to do in that case mean you have to copy this content, whatever the example I'm saying, not only for this one. Okay. So finally, you want to add some data. Maybe you want to change some settings. In that case, what you have to do now? You have to copy. You have to create that file in the Docker file location, same location. We did Stravani file, right? In the same way, you have to create that file, whatever the file you need, with the content. Actually, I haven't created any content for Stravani file because just for example, I showed. But in real time, if you want to change some files in my Docker image, what I have to do? I have to create that file in Docker host, the same location where Docker file is exists, with complete data in that file, in that whatever the file you are copying, right? You want to copy in that file, whatever the settings I need, everything I will add it, and the same file I will paste it into my Docker image where it is required. I'll replace with the original file. That is what I can do. Add command. What is add command? To copy a file from Docker host to Docker image, you'll use add command. Okay, so this is how you have to follow. Now go back to that Docker file again. We'll see more examples based on the requirement. So which command you have to use? You have to know. Again, CMD command. We haven't seen that CMD command. What is CMD command? Okay, tell me one thing. Maybe I don't know you remember this or not. We have created Jenkins. We have created a Jenkins container. Did you remember in previous classes? We have taken Jenkins image. Okay, we have taken Jenkins image and we created a container. So later, once we created a container, we went to AWS console. We enabled the. So guys, I'm getting disturbance. Please make sure that you don't have any disturbance from your end. I don't know who is that. Please mute. Actually, have we started Jenkins image, Jenkins service or application by logging into the container? Anybody remember that? We created a container, maybe HTTPD container, by using that HTTPD image. Have we started the application by logging into the container? Anybody remember that?
Yes, sir. Jenkins
Yes, we
Jira is
did.
We haven't started, but still the application is working. How it is possible? Because of this CMD command only. What is CMD command means? Actually, this whatever the CMD prompt you are using, that MongoD, what is using something MongoD command. This CMD prompt always execute at the time of container creation. Let's assume that I created this image. Okay, so I created one Docker file and I created one image. That time, the CMD prompt won't be executed. So once I created an image and with that image I created a container. That time this CMD prompt will be executed. So what is the use of CMD means? If I do like that means, I don't need to log into my container and start my service manually. Simply every time when I create a container or when I start my container, automatically this command will execute. It doesn't matter where you are in. Let's assume that now Sushmita created a Docker file and in that CMD command she used. Generally, what command so we'll use with CMD mean application start commands. Let's assume that Sushmita created one Docker file for HTTPD image. She has taken CentOS image. Okay. On top of it, she installed HTTPD and she wants to start HTTPD application automatically. Then she will give CMD prompt with HTTPD application. And she created an image now. While creating image, if you run that Docker build command to create image, right? That time CMD won't execute it. It will be copied to your Docker image. That's it, into the configuration. And that image you push to Docker image, sorry, Docker hub. Now Stravani pulled it. She created a container with that image. So immediately the CMD prompt will be executed. She no need to log into container and start the service, because Sushmita, while creating that image, she used CMD prompt. So automatically, whatever the CMD prompt you used, that command will be executed at every container. So if you start your container, if you create your container, immediately my CMD every time. Now again, let's assume that I also downloaded this image, whatever the image Sushmita created. I created a container. Again, CMD prompt will be created. I stopped and started my container again. Again, that container CMD prompt will be again. What is the use here? Why I have to use start command here? Because I want to start my auto application automatically. I don't want to start it again manually. That is what CMD command. So guys, did you understand what CMD it is? So basically here what command is using? Is using MongoDB command to start MongoDB service, MongoDB application, database. So automatically this Docker file, if I create an image and if I create a container, this CMD prompt, this MongoDB service will come up automatically. You no need to log into container and start it. That is what CMD prompt. Guys, did you get it? What I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Maybe if you see one
To
more example, you can
automatically start
understand
the
clear.
container.
Yes, not start the container. Whatever the command
I
you
mean,
given here,
the
that
the
command will
command.
start that container.
Hmm.
Here, this is MongoDB command, right? Now, MongoDB database will start. If it is something else, just go back. Let's see one more file.
Amar,
Yes.
so where do we use CMD versus init? Because in some of the Docker files there is init command as well.
Init or entry point?
Init,
Not init, entry point.
it might be entry point. I am a
Yes.
bit confused.
So
Still, I mean,
we'll
if it's
discuss it.
entry point, then okay.
Entry point only, not init. We don't have init command.
Okay.
Okay, so entry point and CMD both are same, but only the difference is in CMD prompt you can change the parameters in runtime, whereas entry point you cannot change. That is the difference. We'll discuss in tomorrow class.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fine, guys. It's fine.
Hello.
Hey Amar, your voice is not coming. Other guys can hear me?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
I
I think
think there's
Amar's
some
voice is
network
not coming.
issue.
Yeah, it's showing here Amar is offline now.
In my dashboard, he's still online.
Few seconds back it was offline, just now it's showing online.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we should just text him maybe on the dashboard.